Hello, Focus Free Spirit. How are you today? My name is Leticia, and I had a question asking me to go a little bit deeper on the parents' guilt. So yesterday I did a post on Facebook, and obviously because they're so short, we usually don't have much time to talk about it and explain all the different things that and elements of what's going on. So usually the parents' guilt, we all have some guilt. You know, all the human beings, we were raised with some guilt. Our parents didn't mean to, but they do make us feel guilty. And to some extent, feeling guilty is not something bad. I mean, when you do, you have a behavior as an adult that you regret because you know you harmed someone or it caused more hurts than anything else, and the fact that you feel guilty and you want to change that, it's good because it means you want to improve, you want to change the behavior that caused the damage. So in small doses, it's kind of a radar that tells you, oops, wrong, go that way, wrong, go that way. But when it's become, let's say, a second nature, that whatever you do, you start doubting yourself, or you think, no, I shouldn't have done like this, or I should have done it like that, then it creeps you over. Because when you feel guilty all the time, then you don't dare to do anything, and you actually don't even live in the present. You're so worried about not acting on the expected way or how you should be, that let's say that you don't really enjoy what's going on. So in the case of the parents, they have 10,000 reasons to feel guilty. They feel guilty because they have expectation of what a parent should be, and they can't manage that expectation. They're guilty because they're single parent, because the relationship between wife and husband or parents simply is not that good, or because they're working too much, or because the kid is not having everything that the parents would like to buy or the time they would like to spend with them. So there's 1,000 reasons for guilt to show up and say, "Ooh, here I am. You're not doing a good job. You're not doing a good job." And by living like that, you actually don't enjoy the time that you have with your kids, and you're missing on them. You know, very often parents have an expectation of how they should be that kids don't even have about their parents. And even when they crash, you know, when you have those tension moments and the kid might start to start acting or a tantrum, and even when they're a teenager and they start kind of, I hate you, I don't want, it's not that they have an idea of the perfect parent. It's just, in this case, it's more a matter of trying to get what they want. But us, because we think we should be in a certain way and how the relationship with the kid should be, because it doesn't go that way, that's where you start feeling guilty. Kids doing a tantrum, first time, second, maybe fourth time you might go like, man, there must be something wrong. And let's say the most important thing is actually the relationship that you have with your kid. That should be actually your map. And as much as the kid is going to evolve and you're going to evolve with the kid, the relationship is going to change. So let's say when it's a baby, it's hard because the baby is totally dependent of you. But at the same time, the baby doesn't tell you, no, I don't want to, or I don't agree, or I don't want to do it anymore, do it yourself. So every stage has a different relationship. But basically, if you can always attune to your kid's needs, attune. So be aware of what the kid needs and try to give it to him. Or if you can't give it to him, explain that you would want to give it to him. And when I say attune, it's because it's really behind what you see, just. So let's say your kid is giving you a tantrum out of nowhere. Then it's trying to attune to see why, what's behind the behavior. Why is the kid acting like that? Because, oh no, that's just he's a hard-headed, or why? What's going on in the back of his mind that creates that tension when we are together? So that's what I mean by getting attuned to your kid. It's what's going on in his mind, in his world. And that actually, you are doing it pretty well when they're babies, you know, because you can at certain point know when they're hungry, when they're sick, when they're gonna erupt, when they're, I mean, all these things, you know them. It's like, oh, now he's going to need that. And now, oh, this cries because of this, and that cries because of that. And it's that thing when kids starts to learn and speak, we tend to kind of lose that sensitivity that makes us understand what's going on even when they couldn't speak, because we expect their language to be able to tell us what's going on. But you know, sometimes a kid that's suffering from anxiety is incapable when he's 3, 4, or 7 to tell you, I'm suffering from anxiety. So that anxiety might actually come out as a tantrum or as a bad behavior. And the kid, if you ask him, why did you do that? The kid won't even be able to tell you why he did it, because he doesn't have a clue why he did it. It was just something inside of me that was like too much, and it just got out in a certain way. So it's that attunement that I'm talking about. But again, if you're not able to get to that attunement, it's a learning process, because the kid is evolving and you have to evolve. And you don't only have your kids, usually you also have your partner, you have your family, you have your work, you have 10,000 things. So it's also more a proposition that you make to yourself, saying, okay, I'm going to be more attuned to my kid, I'm going to be more connected to my kid. But you do it on an organic way, because, I mean, if you also try all the time, like the kids wants to play, you want to be there playing with them, but not really playing, because what you really want is to connect, but not through playing. I mean, the kid's going to sense that, and it's not going to help. So it has to be organic, meaning you want to connect with the kid and attune, play with the kid, look at your kid, like observe him when he gets angry, when he gets sad, when he's happy, when there's a change of mood for no reason, when he crosses the door and suddenly his face changes and you don't have no clue. But by observing, by being aware of yourself, of your kid, of what's going on in the world of your kid, you're going to be able to connect with the kid a bit easier. Again, it's not I have to, it's I want to, and every day I'm going to make an effort. And if you don't every day, but every other day, but you're working and you're trying. And when you have an encounter with your kid that you don't really like, try to be able to see what's going on inside of you, as well as what's going on in the situation and on the other side. Because very often as parents, it's like authority and the kid, and try to be, maybe go down, especially if they're little, go down. Like, try to see the world from their perspective. When they're teenager, try to see the world from their perspective. It doesn't mean that you agree. Like the kid that wants to go and party and you think is too young, but still. Because if you understand from the other side, you might be able to connect and to explain to your kid why. And even if he's not agreeing, still, he might understand better what your concern is, instead of because I told you so, because I'm your father or I'm your mother, and you're going to do what I'm telling you, because that's the kind of trigger that usually put the kid like this, like, and he's telling you that, or thinking inside, I can't wait until I leave this house and I can do whatever I want, no matter when I'll be on my own, I'll be able to do whatever I want. If there is a reason, even if the kid doesn't agree with it, but there's a logical, with fundamental reason, kids understand that. They might not agree, but they'll understand. And if you think about it, you're the same. If your boss or whoever's telling you no, but there's a good reason behind, and not just because I told you so, you accept it. You might not like it, but for you at least it makes sense. It's not just a matter of authority of someone trying to tell you what to do. So same thing. Try to always be congruent and try to always explain the why behind a decision that tends to create tension. Try to make it a little bit easier. When you get angry and then after you're like, gosh, I shouldn't, I knew but I shouldn't, go and apologize. As simple as that. You know, kids become also more resilient, and they're going to learn much more from parents that are able to change, that go in one direction, then they see that they got it wrong, or they need to make some correction and they want to change, and they change. And then if they get angry and they say I'm sorry, the kids also learn that you can get angry and you can ask for the other person you can ask her to be sorry. So it's not just I did it, nothing to do, let's put that behind the carpet and we won't talk about it anymore. That's the worst thing you can do. When you screw up as an adult, admit it, say I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, it went that way, I didn't want it to happen this way, and I was angry because of this, and that, and I'm sorry that I lashed out with you, and then move on. And same thing on the other way. You know, when they behave in a certain way that they shouldn't, remember to always talk about the behavior, not the kid. So the kid is acting like, and not the kid is, you know. Your behavior was incorrect because of this or that, or but it's not you are incorrect because of this, that. So the behavior, not the personality, the behavior. So the kid can really say, okay, it's not me, it's the way I act. And same thing, you're done with this, you close the subject, and you pass to something else. But you're not going to go back to that every single time. You remember the time that you didn't tell? No. Same thing in both ways. So when you screw up, you ask for forgiveness. When they screw up, they ask for forgiveness, you close the chapter, and you build another one. So these are all small things that if you put them in your daily life, you're going to see really huge improvement. And I want to remind you again, this doesn't have to be tried by guilt or by I have to, about a to-do list. No. See it like, oh, I would like this to improve, so what can I do? Just like if you would change your diet or be organic, go with everyday's mood, because your mood is not the same every day, same as your kids. You may wake up in a great mood and the kid is cranky and it doesn't work out like you were planning on having a great time together and the kid is just not cooperating. It's okay. Then the kid is cranky. See what you can make it do to help the kid be less cranky, instead of be, today was supposed to be the day and it's not happening again and life never happens to me, and it's, no, adapt. Because even by you being able to adapt to the kid being cranky, you're actually learning something and teaching a kid something. So please, if you have more questions, ask, practice, and let me know how it goes. Put your comments in the below. Thank you. Ciao.